Okay, and that's not an issue with the sound outside or anything?
No, nothing.
Okay, yeah, it sounds good to me, so.
Okay. Once we are going to upload this video online, like it's going to be there forever and people will be, so that's why we are trying to make this effort. That's why. Sorry. Thanks for your wonderful time. So I think we are good now. We are good right now.
Cool.
Have a great day, sir.
Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Thanks for the help. Sorry it took so long.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. How are you today? How are things?
Doing pretty well.
Sunday. How was your Sunday? How's your family? Everybody?
Pretty good. I just got up and fed the cat, but we haven't done too much today.
I see some wonderful setup right in the back. Like, is that your home studio?
Yeah, hopefully. Eventually, I'd like to make a lot more videos using it and make more of a home studio type of thing.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Does that have any of your awards from your races, like 100-mile club thing, 200-mile club thing, your favorite deck?
The 250-mile thing, 200, and then I got one of my favorite decks is like my 4.5-pound longboard, which is, I don't know how many kilograms that'd be, but it'd be pretty low, like 2 something kilograms.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one of the decks I made, bracket boards. I was going to race it at Ultra Skate, and then I've got random stuff like some brackets I've made just hanging up that I don't use anymore.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Those are Polaroids? Is that Polaroids, or like you printed them out?
Oh, no, I went to go get them printed out because I like to print out all my photos so that way I don't have to keep them in the class.
Yeah, I do like printed photographs, to see physically, in hand. That'll be amazing, actually. So since we have been speaking, we've been testing the audio since yesterday and everything, but this is our actual official meet. So like, if it is okay, let me introduce myself to you. I'm Krishnan Srinivasan. I'm from Srirangam, Tiruchirappalli city, India, and I'm a fine art photographer, and recently I picked up distance skating, so I call myself a distance skater as well. Not as much established like in the Western world or European world, but I'm just trying the little bit that I could do. And to all our audience here, like who are going to watch this video, whom we have here is a little genius in my terms, because like he's having amazing technical approach to every problem that he's taking up in his life. He's very analytical towards it, and he's big in terms of long distance skating world, at least to me, and I know people who have spoken to are considering the same. We agree on that, and people really look up to him. And he's very young, he's dynamic, he's vibrant and inspiring, and most of all, an amazing human being, as I have known from the little conversations I had, so far. He's one and only Mr. Adam Ornelles, and he's a hydrogeologist and a distance skater. Welcome to our interview series show, sir. We are very happy to have you here, and thanks for your valuable time on a Sunday. And so I've given my perception about you, so it'll be better to hear it from you. Like, please tell us a few words about yourself for our audience.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I'm Adam, and I am a hydrogeologist, so I do a lot of groundwater contamination and drinking water contamination science in my free time for my job. Then I also like the distance skating. The distance skating is just kind of what I've ended up doing lately. It's a little bit of everything. It's like running, biking, all in one. And it's without any of the problems from running or biking. So it's a good sport to be doing, and it's very exciting because sometimes you can go downhill fast also.
Oh yeah, so you like to be fast on your wheels.
I like a little bit of adrenaline.
That's amazing.
You don't get that from running.
That's true. And if somebody is fluffball like me, like probably that's going to be a different case, different scenario. So, sir, like with your hydrogeology thing, like finding out the underwater flow and all that, do you still use the old methods of wherein like they have a Y-shaped tool? They spin it like this, like a slingshot thing to find the underwater flow. Just
Oh no, yeah,
basic
that's
question.
no, that's called water dowsing,
Mm-hmm.
and people can debate the efficiency of that now, but no, we don't do too much water dowsing, but
Uh-huh.
do a lot of mapping and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
the reality is, it's not too hard to find groundwater itself. It's just hard to find a good source of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, depending where you are,
Mm-hmm.
you need to find some places you find groundwater anywhere. Some places you need to find a crack, which involves a little bit more luck if you're in somewhere with a lot of crystal and bedrock.
That's amazing. I happened to see this movie called 13 Lives, Saving 13 Lives or something by Ron Howard, a documentary which is available on Amazon Prime Video. It's about saving kids who got caught up inside the cave, wherein like they'll talk about where the rainwater is adding, So I lost your video feed. Oh yeah, I got it back. Oh yeah, wherein that a hill might have various pores and holes that could flow water into that caves and everything. So is that part of hydrogeology thing, or like that's a totally a different?
It could be. Yeah, that
Ah.
would be called karst. Oh, let's see. Is the video working?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would be called karst hydrogeology, which is like cave hydrogeology
Oh.
specifically.
Uh-huh.
And that one's kind of specialized because that only happens in places with limestone and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
that's a little harder to work with.
Oh, I understand. Thank you. So, like,
They can. There's a lot of cool science with that, though.
oh, that's the very first time I'm getting introduced to all these things, actually. So it's very new to me. It's really exciting to learn new things as well. Yeah. So, sir, I understand you're associated with Blue Ridge Project, something you created. So, please throw some light about Blue Ridge Project.
Oh yeah. That's the whole the Blue Ridge Project thing is. I eventually want to have sort of a channel where I can get posts from multiple people and a lot of different people doing distance skating,
Mm-hmm.
but not necessarily like just the exercise of it. But I want it to be somewhere where you can view videos about everything distance skating, and I want it to be kind of like a YouTube channel eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is also that we wanted to create a distance skating team
Mm-hmm.
where you can kind of bring people together, and that way they have like more of a team identity in the sport. Because the problem with the distance skating is, it's hard bringing everyone together and having them film everything. So having a team kind of helps it out, because then I meet up with Jaron or Sam or whoever, and I can film them, because they might not necessarily be filming themselves.
Mm-hmm. So, does Blue Ridge Project do commissioned work, or like they do some pro bono, like free stuff to other downhill skaters, or like for the LDS community in general?
Oh, it's just like a channel where we're trying to not have a person identity as much, although I'm the one running it, but I'd like it to be a channel where like anyone's stuff can go. Like I need to talk with other people like Titus Lazar and those types of people, like also doing distance skating, and get them in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is kind of like a global cycling network, or another example would be like Donut Media. I would like eventually to make a lot of videos related to distance skating all in one place for people.
That's amazing. So probably that will be the initiative that you took with the interview of Paul Kent or something. Paul Kent.
Yeah. So
yeah.
The hard part is like in real life trying to find time to edit videos and also skate.
Oh yeah.
Because you need credibility if you want to be making skating videos. But also that means you have to train, but that means you also have to make the videos, and it's hard finding time to train, make videos, and have a job.
Very true. Very true.
So the making videos has been kind of on the back burner, but I need to get started with it and put something out weekly is the goal.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. What I would say is like Blue Ridge project is an amazing idea. It's going to attract more people into distance skating. That's what I can envision right now, and that too coming from a young, vibrant person like you. It's going to really shine in the future. And I wish good luck for your Blue Ridge project for sure. And does Blue Ridge project involve uphill skating?
Yeah, that was kind of the original goal. The goal is to show people that you don't really need to necessarily bike or run. You can do all the same stuff on a longboard because there's generally a misconception that you can't skate
Mm-hmm.
uphill and you're limited to where you can skate.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole idea of the Blue Project is to show people like you can go skate packing through the mountains or anywhere you want to go.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. So, have you heard about the race called Shinesland King, which was organized by Mr. Adi Seeker? It's all about uphill skating. It's a race for uphill skating, and I heard about it when I spoke with Mr. Leonard Van de Peppel. So,
Yeah, I heard it about a little bit and really like to go. Although
mhm,
it's hard because it's like international travel is a whole thing now.
mhm. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah, I actually saw your part two video of Ultra Skate Miami, wherein like you describe how hard you kind of collect your funds and everything. So uh, that's incredible, actually. Like not being dependent on anyone, but you're doing your own stuff and being, like participating in such things. So I really got to give it up for you for. So, sir, tell us about like how your bicycle skills kind of translated into distance skating.
Oh yeah. So I started out as a runner a long time ago, and I wasn't very good of a runner. That was
Mm-hmm.
because of my training. And then eventually I became a cyclist, and I
Mm-hmm.
kind of figured out how to train more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, I was biking in the mountains like 3 hours, 4 hours a day, training
Mm-hmm.
for racing and bikes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided one day I was kind of fed up with cycling and the cycling culture. So then I got into distance skating because I like downhill skating and everything, but I also like cycling hill climbs was my thing, just going uphill.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started pushing uphill, and that's kind of how I started getting into it.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
So like I got my first board in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I had been skating for like 12 years, but then I got my first board and started seriously skating uphill through the mountains because in the mountains you really only have uphill or downhill. There's no flat roads there. So
Yeah. So, like, how do you figure out the bike path? Like, where do you skate? Like, you skate among the regular traffic that is happening in the mountain, or like, yeah. Okay, well,
yeah. So
yeah,
when I was living in the mountains,
yeah,
it was
please.
always an open traffic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, like, when you go downhill at high speeds, like, you still have to manage all those dangers that is coming in front of you.
Yeah. So going downhill without any spotters or other people with you, you have to be very careful.
Yeah, okay. So,
But
how?
where I lived, it wasn't too much traffic, so if you just took the corner safely and stayed in your lane, it was okay.
Yeah. How about the blue people in blue? Like, have you encountered them during your rides? Like, do they block you, catch you, like with flashlights, police?
Oh, the great part about distance skating
Hmm.
is that the downhillers get in trouble with the police
Hmm.
because they're doing it over and over again. But
Ah.
since I push up once and then I go down a route and I usually do a loop,
Ah.
I never come back to the same road more than once. So by
Hmm.
the time I'm gone, they have no idea where I'm going. So in a
Oh.
lot of ways, distance skating is great because you almost never get in trouble.
Hmm.
Because unless someone chases you down, which is probably unlikely,
Hmm.
you're not going to get in trouble.
Oh, that's great. I also wish that because like who would want to be, like put in a tight spot. Anyways, so are they friendly to take a selfie when you're like, getting your first ticket or something?
Oh, I don't think they would be. I've never
Okay.
gotten a ticket, luckily, because it's like
Hmm.
where I was, it was usually pretty legal, or they just give you a warning. You only
Ah.
really get tickets if you're skating in large groups of people and you annoy the
Ah.
neighbors or something.
Oh. Okay.
Like
Uh-huh.
like Paul Kent, for example, he's got they've gotten in trouble and stuff skating, but they've
Oh.
never really
Uh,
they've never gotten like arrested
uh,
because it's not like it's a type of crime where it's hurting someone.
yeah. Skating is always fun, so hope they also understand that. So,
Yeah, as long as you're not destroying property, you're fine.
yes. yes. Definitely, we are not doing any as distance skater. We are not doing any pop tricks or anything, right? So, like,
Yeah.
it's definitely cool for that. So, sir, please throw us light about the races you have been to, and can you name them, and please share the experience of those races with us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of racing experience, which is why I still feel like I need to prove myself. But
What?
I've been to just I've been to two ultra skates,
You're being
and
very
that's about the
modest.
only that's those are the only two in person races I've done are the ultra skates.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I guess we held like some outlaw races in Asheville and stuff uphill and
Mm-hmm.
downhill, but we only timed the downhill for those ones.
Uh,
But
okay.
y-
The
so I
Broadway
did the
bomb?
ultra skates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to Broadway Bomb this year, and I
Okay.
tried going to multiple races this year, and I missed all of them. Like, I tried going to Broad Street Bomb in Philadelphia, and the race got canceled, so I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I tried going to the Central Park skate race around Central Park,
Mm-hmm.
and then my flight got canceled 3 times.
Oh,
So I keep on missing stuff like that. And I guess this year I made it to Roaring Fork, but that wasn't really a race as much as a group ride.
uh-huh.
And then I've done the two ultra skates where I did 290 miles my first time and 280 something my second time.
Yeah, that was amazing. Actually, it's a great effort. So please throw us some, with your experience, the thoughts of your experience, like preparation for the ultra skate and what you do. Like relaxing your body after the ultra skate event.
Oh yeah, yeah, ultra skates. So it's a weird one, because you've got to train for a 24-hour race, but you really can't do 24 hours before it.
Yeah.
So the key for that is you just have to do a lot of mid-level exercise, slightly above the level that you want to do at ultra skate.
Mm-hmm.
And say for like a 24-hour race, sometimes I'd have weeks where I did 20, 22 hours of riding. So you do like a 10-hour ride on the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and then you do like 2 or 3 hour rides at nighttime,
Mm-hmm.
and that hopefully can prepare you for it.
Mm.
But the big thing is you have to do a lot of long rides just so you can figure out how your body handles the food and the
True.
clothes you're wearing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So, like, what kind of eating habits you have for such races, like enduring races?
Yeah, that's a hard one. The food for ultra skate's interesting because you gotta get about 70 to 80 grams of carbohydrates an hour
Mm-hmm.
is usually what they estimate.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to get around like 500 to 1,000 milliliters of water depending on the temperature, maybe even more if it's hotter.
Uh-huh.
So the main thing is you need to make sure that you're getting carbohydrates that you can like hold down, because the
Mm-hmm.
hardest part is eating all these calories and not wanting to throw it back up. So
I
you
understand.
kind of balance it between a lot of stuff from like liquids to solids, because the solids stay in your stomach longer and you digest the sugar more consistently.
Mm.
But then the liquids don't disturb your stomach as much. So you got to find a balance of solid and liquid food where
Mm.
you won't get sick,
Mm.
but you can you can get sustained by it. And then the liquids are hard because you also have to make sure you balance your salts and stuff, especially since ultra skate can be in like the 80 or 90 degree range now.
So those are the temperature you normally got used to, or like whether your medicine is little colder or hotter than the ultra skate
Oh
environment?
yeah. So that's the hard part is like since ultra skates in January, it's like it'll be like 10, 20 degrees, or what would that be? That'd be like -3, -5 Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
And where I am, and then you go to Miami and it's like 30 degrees Celsius
Wow.
or like 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, sometimes 90.
Wow.
It was last year was pretty awful because they pushed it to February, which means you have an extra month of winter training.
Mm-hmm.
And then but then when you get to the race, it's also like 10 degrees warmer than it should be, or 10 degrees in Fahrenheit, so like 3 degrees Celsius warmer than it used to be.
Mm-hmm. I understand. So, see, I could see that what I meant by analytical. So, like, I never had such calculations with my food and everything. I see food, I put it in my mouth, as simple as that. But this is amazing. This is a learning experience for me. Like, look at me. Like, I'm a fluff ball. So, all my years, I've never been such athletic person. Like, I've been sitting in front of the computer quite long. I was in animation field, by the way. So, these kind of experience, like as an youngster, so like what would you give it for a person as old as me, who is willing to get into skating, distance skating?
Oh yeah, they have some people who are getting up there in age that are still doing well at distance skating, like Mitch Pasquale, who's racing with the Blue Ridge Project the first year, and then he had an injury the second year.
Oh,
he was 59 at the time. Now he's
wow.
60.
Wow.
And it's hard because it's when you get older, you have harder like teaching your brain new things. So Mitch has trouble because he doesn't push switch at all. He just uses one leg.
Same here.
So yeah, and it's hard for people to learn new things when you're because then you learning new things on skating sometimes involves falling, which is harder when you're getting older.
Very true.
But yeah, it's hard.
So basically, safety and
I think
preparing your mind for distance skating. So getting to adapt stuff. That's all you would initially tell for the people like us. Like to follow.
Yeah,
practice
every
day.
Yeah. One of the great things to practice for people getting into distance skating is like learning to get really comfortable with foot braking, so that way you can slow yourself down.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, it's good to be able to just confidently slow down, especially when you're riding around other people in traffic and stuff, so you don't have to rely on carving your stuff to slow down. And then the other thing is like you can learn the push switch if you're pushing uphill or something. You just push switch when you're starting from a light or when you're pushing uphill. Practice the things that you struggle with when you're going the slowest, and just try to force yourself to do stuff like that when you're going slower, so there's less risk of falling, stuff like that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So like I'm astonished by your skills of riding in a like absolutely no tarmac area, like a grassland, or like be it any other gravel areas, like that's takes some extra skills, I believe. Like please tell us about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've kind of always liked skating through gravel roads and stuff. So in like the mountains where I was, it was like I'd say like 20 to 30% of the routes you could do on a gravel road. And the reality is, as long as it's pretty tightly packed, you can ride on it like 80% as fast as you normally would.
As long as your wheels really don't sink in. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as your wheels don't sink in. So it just requires some forethought to know that it's okay. Like you got to test it out once or twice, and then once you know that the roads are okay, you can skate gravel roads pretty okay. And I would like to set up a mountain board so I can do like really, really long rides in like gravel roads through the wilderness, with like the big mountain board wheels.
I understand.
But that might be kind of that's a whole other thing. Then you got to buy the wheels and commit to it. So
yeah,
I want to test that out and then maybe make a video showing if it's
downhill
feasible.
and mountain boarding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to do the downhill gravel roads a lot in Asheville, and they're okay. They're not too bad, especially when you're going faster. You don't get caught up on the rocks. It's hard going around corners though because it's very loose.
So, like, you would like to lock your legs to the board, or like you want it to be free when you want to be on a mountain board?
I kind of want it to be free. I just want to figure out how to slap some mountain board wheels onto a regular longboard deck and try to go off-roading more, because I feel like it's a big trend in cycling to do gravel cycling now. So I feel like gravel skating could be a thing.
What would you prefer, like a silicone airless tire or a rubber, pneumatic tire for mountain board?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't really tried that out. I know the air tires are a lot slower, but they might work better.
Braking, of course.
Yeah,
I believe. I'm assuming. I haven't been on a mountain board ever, so like it's all theoretical.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how to push through the gravel as efficiently as possible.
Oh, I was thinking.
You could do like
I was thinking about your downhill ride on a tarmac Asheville hill, mountain hill or something. Not exactly on flat ground grassland or a non-tarmac.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing, sir. So, like, what are your choices of board? Like, you like bracket boards, or like you like like drop down boards or double drops? What would be your choice? First choice?
My favorite boards are the ones where you don't have brackets for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, because brackets kind of are stiff, so
Mm-hmm.
it make a board a little bit more vibrational and not as comfortable or flexy as it could be.
Mm-hmm.
But the brackets also give you a lot of angles you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like certain things you just can't do without the bracket board. I'm excited about that new Pantheon Supersonic board
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because then you can have different angles like a bracket board, but with the wood.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, I like the
Oh.
drop through boards because
Mm-hmm.
it's more wood, so they absorb the bumps better. And
Mm-hmm.
also, they're very stiff, so you can do sliding on them. Whereas bracket boards, you can't really slide them because they're not designed to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. So you've break the good news for us, like the Pantheon Supersonic, which looks like Zenith AZ or like the subsonic Century or something, you know. So or Lanyard's Evo 40 plus or something. So thanks for the news. Actually, I was wondering what would be the name they're gonna give. Jeff is gonna give it for that board. So you are breaking it in our interview. So thank you. That's a great news for the
Yeah,
audience.
it's interesting. So Jeff designed the original
Mm-hmm.
design that the subsonic Century was designed after.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff designed essentially the subsonic Century, and then he talked with
Wow.
the people from Subsonic a long time ago when he was working at Bustin, and he never did it.
Oh.
So then they used his design in goodwill, like they talked about
Oh.
it. It's not like they stole it, but
That's
so
a
like
news to
Jeff
me.
kind of was
Actually, I
the
didn't know
mind
that.
behind the Century.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Sir, tell us about your custom brackets that you did. With the aluminum block. Uh,
Oh yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah. I have one of my older ugly ones here, but the this is like my zero, but I wanted it to be lower than the delirium.
Mm-hmm.
So at work, I used to have a hydraulic press, so I'd hydraulic press the metal, and then I
Oh.
have these brackets.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's like a 0 degree bracket that's like an inch lower than something like the delirium made
Mm-hmm.
by the Don't Trip delirium.
Yeah.
And I just kind of did this because I wanted well, I think brackets are a little expensive. $150 is a little
Very
steep
true.
for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really need precision trucks for pushing, especially in something like Ultra Skate,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just trying to push for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So this, which works with like a cast truck, is good enough for me.
Oh, that's amazing. So, throw us some light about your custom build on the carbon fiber boards that you did. What was that?
Oh yeah. So now I'm kind of just riding the stock Pantheon stuff because it's nicer. But back in the day, before Pantheon was doing fiberglass and carbon fiber,
Mm-hmm.
like I have a trip that
Ah.
I made hollow and carbon fibered. An ember that I made hollow and carbon fibered, and then I have a trip that I carbon fibered. And this is when they didn't have fiberglass trips or embers, and I wanted something stiffer and stronger and more weatherproof.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turned this wooden trip bracket
Oh.
carbon fiber, so it was stiffer because I was running my brackets on it. So since
Mm-hmm.
the wheelbase is longer, I needed a stiffer board. So in this case, I just used carbon fiber to make the board stiffer.
Mm-hmm.
But you could use fiberglass too, but the carbon fiber is a little bit more fancy looking. So
Okay. So you don't have to paint it over. So like the black is so cool. I like the
yeah,
texture
like
as well. That's
yeah,
all right.
carbon fiber has a good look to it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit lighter than fiberglass, but it's also not quite as strong unless you buy kind of expensive carbon fiber.
Mm-hmm. So, but tell us about your camping experiences. Like, do you prefer carrying a backpack, or like you want to build a board as a trailer to your longboard, where you have the luggage on that?
Oh, with skate packing, I know people have used trailers, but
Mm-hmm.
I built a trailer a long time ago, and I found that if you're carving and stuff, a lot of the times the trailer will flip over.
Uh-huh.
So, so like in general, the trailers seem cool,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd rather keep the trailer unattached from my board
Okay.
because it gives you a lot more mobility, especially like going downhill and stuff, or if
Uh-huh.
you're dodging something quickly.
Uh-huh. I learned from a international rider. He was a British rider. I saw a few videos of him. He rode across China, across USA, and all that. He was having that trailer. So to account that same problem of tripping over, he used mountain boat trucks on the trailer's rear wheel with scooter wheels on that. Do you think
Oh,
that is a feasible idea for preventing such things?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways you can get around it,
Uh,
but I like I like Paul Kent also has the same idea. I kind of like a minimalist setup,
uh,
and if I have like a really lightweight backpack and a lot of lightweight equipment, that's
mm,
probably not enough to do a round the world trip necessarily, unless you do a lot of logistical planning. So I
mhm,
totally understand the trailer then, because you have to
mhm,
carry a lot more water going through desert areas and
mhm,
such. But
mhm,
for I feel like for regular people, it's easier to do a backpack because it relative to a trailer it reduces your overall weight.
mhm. That's
So
very
even
true.
though it's on your shoulders,
Yeah,
going
and
up hills and stuff, you'll feel it.
when you have access to camping sites regularly on your road, so why do you want to, like have too much of luggage on you, right? So it's very practical. So how many camping
Yeah.
sites were there on your route? Like, well, you got to pay something for them, or like it's for free of access for everyone?
Usually when I'd go backpacking with the longboard, especially, you can go. I'd always go places where it was just like a wilderness area. So
Uh-huh.
there's usually roads going through wilderness areas or national forests and stuff, and I just
Mm-hmm.
stop wherever because it was kind of legal wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'd be like so out of the city that there really isn't any like there's no one there, so no one
Mm-hmm.
would ever know that you're sitting in the forest, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Right.
Have you encountered?
Um,
Yeah, please, please, please.
if you go to somewhere like the Lodiga Trail, of course, or like somewhere that's more of a greenway or somewhere with more people, I'd be paid for campsites and stuff because you don't want to
Uh,
illegally camp in populated areas. But if you're in the wilderness, it's not. It's a lot easier just to just hole up near the side of the road.
ha, ha, ha. That's nice. It's like, have you encountered any wild animals during your?
Yeah, I feel like camping, especially in Asheville, there's always something.
Ah.
Um, I know, like if you throw food out, which is not something you're supposed to do, you'll hear
Mm-hmm.
coyotes and stuff just
Mm-hmm.
running around the camp wherever you're camping,
Ah.
or you see like rats will break into your stuff if you're not careful with what you do with your food.
Mm-hmm.
And in the mountains of North Carolina, you have to hang bear bags, which is you hang your
Oh.
food on a string 12 feet away from the ground. So you throw a string with the rock, and then you
Oh.
lift up your food. So
Uh-huh.
that way the bears can't climb the tree and get to the food.
Ah.
So stuff like that, you have to be a little
That's quite a
careful.
learning experience
Mostly
for
it's
us.
about just
Yeah,
yeah,
because being in tropical land and being the second populated country in the entire world, like we don't get to encounter such wilderness in close contact. Like we would be encountering another human being every 10 feet, probably every 10 feet, wherever.
yeah.
So and so, thank you. So please tell us about your association with Pantheon Longboards and 88 Wheels Company and Boa Wheels.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Pantheon's like the only true distance longboarding company that I like. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
don't that I'd ride for because I want boards that I can ride downhill fast, and I
Mm-hmm.
want boards that can ride uphill. And
Mm-hmm.
Pantheon kind of has the same message.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always thought like I don't really care about riding for a brand per se because there's not a lot you get out of riding for a brand in longboarding. It's all like it's all words mostly. No
Mm-hmm.
one really makes money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I like about Pantheon really is that I can just give input with
Mm-hmm.
Jeff and talk about the stuff since I like his boards so much. It's like I'd be riding anything that Jeff makes anyway, so working with him is fun because I get to talk with him and he'll send me CAD designs and I can kind of like
Mm-hmm.
give a little bit of feedback on all these products he's making. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff knows what he's doing, so he doesn't even really need my advice. But
Mm. Ah, nice. So how do you like the 88 Wheels Company's wheels or Boa wheels? Those are bigger wheels, right? Is that
yeah,
something
I
you
like
got
him.
used to it, or like you were riding smaller ones before? Or please.
Oh yeah, yeah. So for a while I was riding Sizex speed vents, and that's just because everyone else did.
Uh huh.
But a long time ago, I was looking into bigger wheels, and
Mm,
I noticed Boa before I knew Jeremy or that
yeah.
Jeff was involved with them, and I bought a pair of their 100 millimeters,
Oh.
and I like them a lot.
Uh huh.
They're really like the only brand making modern urethane at the moment.
Oh.
Like all their urethane is like a year or two old,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been developed pretty recently, meaning that it's like
The
science has
formula.
changed and their
Yeah.
urethane's just better.
Oh, that's amazing. So I think I've
And they're
seen,
still working on it too.
yeah, I've seen your Instagram post saying like it's 78A or 76A, but still holds well in a rough patch. Like that's amazing. Thank you, thank you. So
Yeah, it's nice.
ah, that's
There,
amazing.
I think some people ignore the fact that producing something like a wheel is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like about 88 Wheel Co. and the BOA, which are the same people, Jeremy's kind of behind
Yeah.
that with Jeff.
Uh,
Um, the cool thing about that is like making a wheel mold is very expensive. It's like $5,000 to $15,000 to make a
wow,
factory mold.
wow.
So like making a new wheel shape is kind of hard. A lot of people use like reuse molds from other companies.
Mm-hmm.
Only a couple of companies really use their own molds, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is like the core in the 88 wheel codes and stuff is actually a little different,
Mm-hmm.
but they look the same because I mean, you don't want to cut off the electric board market, so everyone uses the same
Yeah,
core now because
yeah.
you got to be able to sell your board to the electric people.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make it so it fits the pulley. You can't just be slapping in your own core.
Yeah. That was actually my next question. Have you tried any electric skateboard wheels for distance skating?
Yeah. So the BOAs are interesting because the 88 Wheelco stuff is designed for just push boards. The
Mm-hmm.
BOA, the BOA wheels are kind of the urethanes are made for electric boards, meaning they're way more durable.
Oh.
So they're a little stiffer. They
Mm-hmm.
don't absorb the bumps quite as well, but they're extremely like the BOAs are extremely resistant to chunking because that's their whole thing. That the electric skateboarders keep on chunking wheels since they have the
Yeah,
power going into the wheels.
true. That's amazing. Sir, I really got to congratulate and appreciate your efforts that you put in for the virtual races of Skate IDSA and the results that you're giving. You work as a team that I can understand, but, like the face of that virtual race thing, which we see from the other part of the world, was Adam Ornelles. So by congratulating you, I'm congratulating the entire team as well. But please tell us about the association with the Skate IDSA, International Distance and Supercross Association. How did that happen?
Oh yeah, yes. So yeah, I always liked the virtual skate races. I think they're really important.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a handful of people behind the virtual races. I kind of do the website and the video and the results, but
Mm-hmm.
then like Scott Ziegler from
Mm-hmm.
Florida, he does a lot of the like media messaging, talking to sponsors, and then we
Ah,
got Andy who did it in the past, and then Jonah who runs the IDSA.
uh-huh.
But the virtual series I kind of got involved with because Andy couldn't keep on doing it because it's all volunteer based,
Oh,
and Andy just didn't have the time. So I took over it because I kind of got into distance skating because of the virtual series.
mm-hmm.
It was like I was cycling and I wanted to see how competitive I would be,
Mm-hmm.
and the virtual series is great because there's not a lot of distance skaters everywhere. So it's a good way for you just to see
Mm-hmm.
how hard it is and see like how you stack up.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to keep the virtual series around because I think it's important to get international people involved.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can see what it's like, and then they can decide if they want to race. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been a bit of a tough time getting the virtual series running and keeping everything organized
Mm-hmm.
and balancing all the other stuff I'm working on. But
Mm-hmm.
it's good because it kind of allows people to like get their foot in the door and then eventually do in-person races, which is want to keep it
Mm-hmm.
as like a community event where
Mm-hmm.
completion is important.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it just brings, if you bring in 10 people into the sport, maybe they'll bring another 100 people in because they'll bring in 10 each. So
Mm-hmm.
any little effort towards getting people to try out distance skating is really important.
That's a noble thought. Yeah, that's amazing. So I truly congratulate every one person behind that idea. Thank you so much. And sir, please throw us some light about your riding experience in the New York City. It's super crazy. And to ride along, how was your experience to ride along with Titus Lazare and Jason?
Oh yeah, riding with Titus and Jason was awesome.
Uh-huh.
New York is really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a whole other story trying to
Mm-hmm.
ride there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had no idea what I was doing, and I followed Titus around. And he,
Mm-hmm.
if you just stay a couple feet behind him,
Mm-hmm.
you can get through the traffic.
Wow.
and they just have a good traffic brain. Like Titus and Jason are both
Mm-hmm.
very strong skaters,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like Kiefer Dixon. Like they skate every day in New York, and
Oh.
they're just the fastest in that terrain because they know the traffic and the roads,
Mm-hmm.
and they're also super fast. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like a whole other world skating in New York because the traffic adds a whole other dimension to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was like I couldn't recall the movie. Uh, mm, I saw a bicycle movie where it was super crazy, delivering couriers, letters, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, yeah, I think I've seen that.
yeah, wow, Gordon, somebody would have starred in that, and I had the similar experience. That was a movie, but this is real stuff. Super crazy. I get goosebumps every time I see I look up into his story, and I saw you riding there almost like uh, equal to Titus and Jason. It was amazing. So what it is like you have a bike path and people are also walking out there, and you find some cars, taxis, buses, trucks. Like how do you keep like you just follow one thing and just go ahead like
Yeah, I skating in traffic is kind of like it's not. Depending where you are, it can be bad or good. In New York, it's
mhm.
pretty good because the traffic is slow and everyone there, for the most part, knows what they're doing driving.
uh,
So like you can kind of just go with the flow and you follow
uh,
the traffic
uh,
and just make sure you're not getting in the way of cars. Make sure you don't get hit by cars turning right or left. And
true.
you just have to think ahead a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So
But
you don't have someone open the door all of a sudden. Nothing happened like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like kind of like aggressive driving. You have to think ahead and get get ahead before, and don't hesitate. You just do it. If
Oh,
you hesitate, that's probably where the worst stuff happens. But
yeah.
Titus and Jason, like, and Kiefer and all those, there's a ton of New York riders actually that
Mm-hmm.
I'm not naming, but
Mm-hmm.
all of them know a lot more than I do. So
Mm-hmm.
my goal is just to follow them essentially and learn from them.
That's amazing.
I would like to win Broadway Bomb someday because it's Broadway Bomb is, in my opinion, the coolest push race right now.
Oh yeah.
But realistically, for now, I just want to do it at a level where I can't get hit by cars and I can finish. And then
Okay.
I'll try to follow the fast guys, but I just don't know enough about Broadway
Yeah.
Bomb to even probably be competitive for the top three for now, unless I get lucky and I follow people without getting cut off.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. You
Like
got yeah. Please.
Jeff Vian and
Mm-hmm.
Paul Kent
Mm-hmm.
were maybe more fit per se in their peaks,
Mm-hmm.
but they never even got close to winning a Broadway Bomb because they either got lost or they hit a
Whoa.
pedestrian or something. So I mean, it's a cool race because there's a lot of skill involved that
Mm-hmm.
people from out of the city can't just come and try the win like that.
Yeah, it's definitely even for me. I like to imagine that. And sir, please throw us about your creative project, as in like riding and testing yourself, practicing for uphill on a treadmill. How did that happen?
Oh yeah, so I just needed some way to skate when I was in grad school.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be I'd stay up to 3 a.m. and then I need to skate,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wouldn't have time
Mm-hmm.
to get ready to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hop on the treadmill in the exercise room of my apartment complex.
Uh,
And at 3 a.m., nobody was there, and it was really awkward at first, but now I'm really used to it, and I have my own treadmill in our basement, and
oh,
it's a good way to get exercise when you just don't have time and you can't go outside because there's snow or something. So
mm-hmm.
it's I'd say it's like a secret weapon as far as being able to train in
Mm-hmm.
whatever weather,
Mm-hmm.
whenever I want to.
That's nice, actually. But like whatever you did with the Excel sheet or like Visual Basic code that you did for that, conversions of your riding on a treadmill to the wattage hours of bicycling or something, or comparing stuff to the real world to riding up on a treadmill stuff. That is super crazy. That is some Tony Stark
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not too hard, but you can calculate using physics roughly how hard you're working on the
Mhm.
treadmill, and then
Mhm.
translate that to the real world. Yeah, which you're talking about,
That's
and
amazing,
that kind
actually.
of helps you get a good idea.
Yeah,
for
I
what
see.
level you're working out at.
I see a treadmill. I see some, like conveyor belt revolving. That's all I see. But like working out the math or like working out with Zift app that you did before, like with your laptop over there. That is super creative. Actually, that's amazing. It's inspiring, so to say. Like we feel like,
Yeah, I
yeah. Please, please.
yeah, it's like out in cycling. You can do a lot of workouts on a trainer sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's easier to get a workout in on the bike trainer because there's no traffic that's stopping you. So if I want to do an hour and a half workout without ever stopping, sometimes the treadmill is a good way to do it. Not necessarily for speed, but for something like ultra skate where you're going really slow and you just need the cardiovascular system. The treadmill is like kind of a nice solution sometimes because
To
I can
study
do work
yourself,
to watch. Yeah,
to learn about your body.
It-
Oh, that
yeah,
sort.
and another thing is since ultra skates in the winter, right? And it's going to be like 80 there because it's near the equator, but where I live it'll be sub freezing. To prepare yourself for the temperature, sometimes the treadmill's good because you can you can ride in a hot room and get adjusted so that way when you
That's true.
go south it's not a huge issue because that could be an issue, the acclimation.
Oh, that's very creative. Actually, you could put your treadmill near a heater, and
Yeah,
that's
it takes
creative.
about 2 weeks for you to become heat adapted, so if you go to ultra skate and you only have 3 days you're gonna really suffer.
Mm, that's very true. So, what I'm seeing is like distance skating. Like you guys are very promising. You're taking up, pushing it to the next level from these kind of simple things, providing that like you're giving away that idea, the Excel sheet or whatever that you are doing. Like you're sharing it with the world. Like you're not expecting anything. That thought is really noble. That's what I'm appreciating here. Like that's amazing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'd like to just my thing is that I've never been like a particularly highly talented athlete,
Mm-hmm.
but I have like my two skills going for me is that I can suffer a lot, which is good for training, and I kind of like I try to utilize everything I have,
That's
and
amazing.
that's something I want to share with everyone because like there's a lot of things people do in skating that you can like just make a little bit better. You don't need to be a talented athlete necessarily, but there's just like little things everyone can do to make themselves the best they can be,
That's
which is
amazing.
what I'd like to eventually make videos on, like how to train more efficiently, how to be faster, stuff like that.
That's super, super noble, actually. If I were there, if I can, I would have given an award for that. Like that's amazing. So, like, what do you do with the merchandise of Blue Ridge Project? Like, is it available for any commoner to buy from anywhere in the world?
Oh, I don't really do any merchandise. I have stickers I give to people,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
I don't know.
You have any plans
I don't
for the
know if I
future?
ever want to merchandise anything. Yeah,
Okay.
being commercial sounds kind of like
Uh-huh.
I don't know, maybe someday, but
Okay. Okay. So, please share your experience riding the MK longboards or Melanin Kake longboards Drop 2.
oh yeah, I love this board.
Uh-huh.
I actually have it right here. It's kind of dirty,
Oh.
but I have it on the old McFly prototypes and whatever trucks I have going
Uh-huh.
on. But it's been really nice because if I go working out in the rain or stuff, my legs don't get wet and I don't get
Oh,
stuff all over me. So
that's
yeah, the
amazing.
melon cac drop 2 is really nice actually because
Uh-huh.
I don't know, riding in the rain is like really miserable, and this has been a great solution for making my life a lot easier.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I understand like certain softwares that is being used with seismology or geology studies or hydrology. It comes more from it's more available for the Windows platform. So does the same thing happen with the hydrogeology? Is that why you're using Windows Machine?
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything we do is Windows, and that's probably just because of the everything's old. All the software we work with is really old
Uh,
because like the groundwater software that I work with was like designed and the code behind it was designed in like the 80s.
oh, okay.
So like it's a lot of mathematical code designed in the 80s that you just run with software that like it works with.
Mm-hmm.
So I use a lot of Windows
Okay.
because groundwater software is also old. That the Apple stuff doesn't have compatibility with it anymore now that they have
Yeah, you got to.
constantly updating the M1 chips and stuff.
Yeah, the emulator, the parallel desktops and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to write a software, especially for this distance skating stuff, wherein like you want to test a board for its durability or the stress test, so to call, or like to test the durometer stuff for the wheels, developing standards and like that?
Yeah, I thought about making a whole calculator to calculate how fast wheels are, but the
Mm-hmm.
hard part with that is there's a lot of unknown factors.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know if you can per se calculate that sort of thing very well, better than just estimating
Mm-hmm.
from the top of your head. There's so many things with distance skating that you can't calculate.
Yeah.
That like if you're missing one variable, then all the other ones become inaccurate. So
Yeah.
as much as I would like to
The
do something
mass,
like that, like make a
aerodynamic.
database of
Yeah.
all the wheels, it seems a little too hard, which is why I've kind of backed away from it.
Okay, that's amazing. But you can definitely, right? If it is possible,
Yeah,
you
you
will,
could.
I believe.
There's a good website called wheelrollingresistance.com, I think, and they do all of the rolling resistance on every single bicycle wheel.
Oh,
But
okay.
they have like laboratory equipment and stuff that I don't, so
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to do that someday, but you
Mm-hmm.
need some extra equipment to get that working.
That's amazing. Sir, what are the places you would recommend for people to skate around your area for distance skating, especially?
Oh, yeah. Well, so I'm in Madison, Wisconsin right now, and they have like 200 miles of bike paths. So you can go skating anywhere here, which is nice,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't have hills per se.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in like Asheville, where I used to live, it was a lot harder for people to find places to skate because there's like 2 miles of the flat road and everything else uphill
Mm-hmm.
or downhill.
Okay.
And then in Asheville, they had the velodrome, which was a nice little loop you could push around in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very small loop. Some people are telling me it's too turny for them to race it.
Mm-hmm.
Too many tight turns. But then like in Asheville, there's this thing called the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is like what Blue Ridge Project is named after. And the Blue Ridge Parkway is a 400-mile road through the mountains. That's just like a scenic highway. It doesn't actually go anywhere. Everything around it is wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
And they completely close that road to traffic in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, if you're ever in North Carolina, you should go check out the Blue Ridge Parkway in winter because you could go do a 400-mile ride in the mountains. I mean, there might be a little bit of ice is the issue, but
Mm-hmm.
you can do a 400-mile ride in the mountains without any traffic. It's
Oh,
really cool.
nice. I like the Blue Ridge Project new logo as well. You designed it?
Yeah. I was trying to make something that looked a little bit more longboardy, so that way
Mm-hmm.
people could know it was a longboarding thing. So
Uh,
the longboard's nowhere in the name of Blue
mm-hmm.
Ridge Project.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Guess we have come to the end of our session here. So I think the stage is yours. Like, if you want to say something for the long distance skating community, you could go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I feel like sometimes the distance skating community, it seems like sometimes we're struggling to find people, but lately it seems like we're at a bit of an uptick,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's good for people just to
Mm-hmm.
keep on skating and try to get other people into it by having group rides, group sessions, and reaching out to other people. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think the best part about the distance skating is that we have a very friendly community where
Mm-hmm.
everyone's willing to share information.
Mm-hmm.
So, it'd be nice to see people continuing doing that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot, and I hope it grows, which is the big thing.
Yeah, nice.
Love
So,
to see some races come back.
uh, nice. So, where would you want to skate next? Would you skate in India?
Oh yeah, I haven't got a ton of plans, but I know Ladiga, the stage race Ladiga, is coming back this
Mm-hmm.
summer, and that's the race I'm most excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to go skating in like Canada or Alaska or maybe the Himalayas, but
Oh,
that's on the long term. I don't really have enough time or money to do that.
pretty ambitious. I wish good luck for that. Like absolutely, good sense. With my whole heart and best wishes.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
who would you recommend for the interview to be interviewed by me next? If you
Let's see.
have
Um,
any names in the mind coming up right now.
Titus Lazar would be a good one. Titus has a lot of stuff to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a really fast rider.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Let me think of some other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Marwin would be interesting to talk to, or actually Lena. Lena would be great.
Yeah, I've approached all of them already. So whenever they give a green light, like I'll be in the call with them. That's amazing choices, actually. That's beautiful, sir. Kindly, what I want to say. For a fraction, I kind of missed what I want to say. I was looking at the screen because this is a laptop and the webcam is on the top, so that's why you would find me looking down a little bit than at the eye level.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So, sir, thanks for your valuable time. This is Nandri and Vanakkam kind of welcome and thank you gesture in my land. So it's Namaste.
Awesome.
Namaste. So sort of thank you. And
Namaste.
yeah, please give me some time to edit this video and put up online. And thanks. Happy Sunday and have a great day. I had a great time talking to you today.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah. And good luck with the editing. I know it takes a lot longer than people think.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So
great. Yeah, thanks for always supporting me.
No, that's my pleasure actually, because like every distance scaling thing is happening in the West or European world. So I got to somehow make the connect. Like if I have to continue with this at my age, to keep myself inspired. As simple as that. Yeah,
it's good keeping it international also. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Yeah. Have a great day, so.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Happy weekend. Bye.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.